2023 is going to give the fan base of Magic the Gathering something that they forgot they had. They're going to have choices. Hi everyone and welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You know, when you think of Magic the Gathering as a game and how far it's evolved over the years, there's been a lot of fundamental changes the game has gone through, early growing pains to later stages where the game wasn't as popular. But the game has always evolved. It's always changed. From the standard box of 36 when they tried out alliances with 12 card booster packs, and they tried the 8 card booster pack, but it's an ever-changing game. Different mechanics, new ideas come in, but it's still the game you love to play. And if 2022 to 2023 has taught me anything, it's that we have choice. More choice than we've ever had before in how we decide to choose to enjoy the game. That's a really good thing. It doesn't matter if you hate or love everything Wizards has done, because you do get to pick and choose the elements of the game that best suit your style of gameplay and how you choose to enjoy it. For those people who love the reserve list like myself, the prices right now have never been better. It's a shopping spree out there, and I'm really loving it, and so are a lot of the people who watch this channel. Great time for all of us. For other players who love Commander, all these new Commander cards and the fact the format is being recognized by so many players, and the fact you only need one, make it a very accessible and highly desirable format to play in. Other people really talk about Two-Headed Giant. There's just so many ways of looking at it. But when you start looking at the sealed product, you know, you could just buy a couple of Commander decks and call it a day. You can buy the cheap Commander decks, the expensive Commander decks. You could buy one draft box and just draft with some friends and have a great time. Other people want to get into set collecting, and you go after those set boosters and try to collect every variant. For the high-end roller, we've got collector booster boxes, and we've got double, trip, flip masters, Modern Horizons 1 and 2, and it goes on and on. And for every time we get mad at Wizards of the Coast, for every time we get angry with them, when you look at the amount of products they've put out, they never held a gun to our head and said, you gotta buy it. We do have selections and choices. And although right now the market is really strong in the singles, okay? Singles is like leading the way right now. It's leading the way for the moment. That's just one way that a large portion of players are choosing to enjoy the game, because when you buy the singles cards, you can put that in your Commander deck, your Vintage, your Legacy, wherever you choose to do it. But it's a choice. And players more often than not now realize that they have choices in how they choose to enjoy the elements of the game that best suit them. I've walked into a store where nobody was playing a format that I recognized. Okay, I've walked into stores where I recognized every single type of game they were playing, because some stores just make up their own stuff, and that's fine. That's a great way to enjoy the game. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to play Magic, you can just buy some bulk commons and make a deck. If you're a player with a 7-figure salary in the world, you can buy your own Black Lotus, create the Vintage Legacy deck, and you can go off and try to play against some high rollers and have a good time. There's something there for everyone. And a lot of players will lament the fact that some of these cards are really expensive, but you don't have to buy the expensive cards. You have a choice. You have a choice to proxy, to fake it if you want. It won't stop you from enjoying the game. That's the best thing I can say now, is the amount of choices I've seen players bring to my attention when they are angry or frustrated with the game. They say, I'm just going to go proxy. I'm just going to only buy singles. I'm going to only buy some Commander products. I'm staying away from anything sealed and draft. Other people say, I like the set boosters. I'm avoiding that. There's so many conversations that can mix with this. But it's only made possible. These choices are only made possible because of the things that Wizards of the Coast has done to try to broaden out the branches to get as much money as they can into the company. It's allowed them to branch into Commander, to give us Brawl decks, to give us Pioneer decks, to try other things out. Even bringing Arena. It may have originally been intended just to bring them cash. I use it as a play testing ground to try out deck ideas without having to buy every single card. You know, we all get our way of enjoying it, but it wouldn't be possible if Wizards of the Coast hadn't have done the things they have done, the positive and the negative. Reserve list cards would probably still have value, even if they were reprinted, even if the reserve list was never made. The original cards with their limited printing would probably still have a lot of value, but maybe not as much as with the reserve list being, where it is today. And the way the markets are in the world and the way Wizards has turned people away, maybe reserve list cards wouldn't be as cheap as they are right now if those decisions weren't made, forcing those prices down. And yes, there's external factors, guys. I get it. The world economy is in a shambles. There's talk of recession everywhere. I get that. But those are other factors as well. They all count into the pie of things that could go wrong. But for everything that Wizards has done wrong, there's parts I've got to say I like. I like Commander. I like the idea of it. I like the fact I only need to buy one of something, which before I never even thought about until people on this channel and other people really said, get started, try it out. You're going to love it. And I do. It's a fun game. Do I think it's over by turn 2 in a lot of cases? Yes. I've died on turn 2 and 3 and I don't understand what happened, but you still have fun playing it because you get to choose. You get to experience that. For those people who want to buy old sealed boxes, it's a great time to buy because prices are down. Maybe you want a single booster pack of something that's old and ancient. You can now choose. You can say, I really don't like the Brothers War. I don't like what they did. I don't like the choices. I'm going to take my $200 that I would have spent on one box. I'm going to go buy a couple of packs of the Dark. I want to own a couple of packs. I've always wanted to own it. The price has never been lower. And that's what we're talking about. The ability to choose. But again, those choices have been made possible by the products that Wizards of the Coast has put in front of us. Things they've tried to market and have failed. Things like Plane Chase, some of the board games they've made, early video games that didn't adapt well. They're still hit and miss. But some of those things are still talked about now. With the upcoming epilogue boosters, was it 5 cards in a pack? You get some rares and mythics. That's just a way of downsize. That's how they're looking at it. They're going to make more money. They're going to have less packaging. They can put more things on a truck. There's a lot of things they've got going for them. But for some of the players, it's going to remind us of Fallen Empires, of the Dark, these 8-card booster packs we used to have. Yes, it's a little bit less than that, but it will have that nostalgic feel. And the fact they're hyping lore on those will attract a whole bunch of players. It's just another branch with more choices. And if those choices don't appeal to you, you don't have to go down that path. You can look over here and go right back to Commander. You can go to your Pioneer game, your Modern game. You can go to Vintage, Legacy, wherever you choose. And yes, we as players probably would have invented a lot of these formats without Wizards' help. We already did with Commander and stuff. But the fact that they represent it and build cards directly for Commander to cater to that market is a good thing. Because we wouldn't have all the choices we have if they made every card just for Standard. With the fact they put Commander cards in so many products now, it bothers a lot of players, but you can just buy the singles and get the cards you desire without ever having to touch those sealed products. And that's made possible because they've put it in so many products. Guys, I think this is win-win. I think in 2023, we are going to see things turn around a bit. And I'm not saying everyone's going to forgive Wizards. No. But you got to take it with that new twist and look over there and say, that's not that bad. Because I don't have to spend $200 in that booster box. I don't have to spend $299 buying 4 Commander decks. I don't have to buy Lord of the Rings, but I'm going to. I didn't have to buy Warhammer 40k, and I personally didn't, but so many other people did. Because for every one person who doesn't want something, somebody else will. Different strokes for different folks with so many products to choose from. I just know when I have friends talking about, hey, you want to get together for a 2-headed giant game? I'm like, yeah. And we'll play some Commander after. Yeah. Because those are things that appeal to me. We'll play some Emperor. We'll play some Commander. We'll have a good time. And that's what the game's all about. But it wouldn't be possible without the choices that have been made available to us with all the products. And some of those product lines die. Some of those fancy schmancy, from the vaults, which I personally loved, some of those products will die off. They don't always work out for Wizards. Some of the product lines end and go away, like some of the Master Series stuff, only to come back later as a new type of product. Double flip trip Masters with fancy textured foils we all love. But yeah, and forget always, the fact these cards have financial value is great. And the fact they're cheap right now is probably a good thing for a lot of the people solidifying their assets right now. And you know who you are. You guys know who you are. You've sent me pictures. I've sent you stuff. We know where we're at with this. Those who watch the channel know what we're talking about. But I think you just all need to remember, you don't have to buy everything. You got to pick the ones that appeal to you. Enjoy it. And if you're mad, avoid everything. Do what you want to do. But the choice is yours, and that's the best part about it. Thanks again for being here, guys. A big shout out and thank you to all the fantastic patrons on this channel who support me each and every day, guys. Without your help, I wouldn't be where I am today. So a special thank you goes out to each and every one of you. Don't worry, it's not game over. Welcome back to the Moxman's Lab, where I'm making special nachos and cheese just to share with you guys, as long as you pick the popcorn up off the floor. All right, come on. You got to help out around the house. You know, I can really appreciate the choices that Wizards tries to put out there. They can say however they want. It's still a money grab, don't get me wrong, but they are choices. Nobody's saying I have to buy it. So as mad as I get at them, the 30th anniversary taught me we can just say no. And we said it en masse, which was a good thing. It really was. It gave Wizards of the Coast an idea of what players can do when we're upset about something. But I do like the choices I have this year. I like the products that have come up. I like the products they've announced. The Epilogue Booster kind of reminds me of Antiquities. It gives me that feel. So will I buy some? That's the question. Maybe. I might buy a little bit just because I wanna have some fun and open packs like that. Even for myself. I'm sure some people on the channel will want some, but it's just that ability to say, it reminds me of the nostalgic times. If I can't open Antiquities, at least I could open an Epilogue and it kind of reminds me. Reminds me of that time back then when I could, you know? It's a good thing. And again, it's a choice they've made available to me by creating a product like this. So yeah, I can get behind it if the prices are not too price gougey scary, you know? It's a good time to be in Magic. 2023, I'm looking forward to it. And you know what? I hope you guys are too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day, man. You guys deserve it. You deserve a good day, just like me.
Welcome to the Moxman's secret door. You have gained entry.
You know, it's kind of interesting when you can pull out of things when you're looking for information. And sometimes you don't know what you have. It's like a puzzle. You start putting things together. Thanks for making it to the end, guys. Hanging out with me and, Deadpool here. Imagine I told you, and this is only for you guys who made it to the end. And please put reserve list in the comments section so I know you made it this far. There won't be many of you who can sit through my videos that long to make it. What if I told you that I got a few emails showing sold listings, people buying things, and somebody out there who does not want to be named, but basically has been spending $20,000 to $40,000 every month for the last couple months buying reserve list, a multitude of cards all over the place, using friends in Facebook groups to buy for him, a whole bunch of things just to solidify positions in things like dual lands. Just letting you know. One of those weird things I thought I would share with the people on this channel who make it to the end. Yeah. Just a little tidbit of information.